work. This is not working. I'm trying to get a certain this element to be active to work. I have to do full screen capture. That, not a window capture. So, ugh, really not fair. Let's see if I can do capture. Okay. I lose my watermark, of course. Sucks. Well, there we go. There it is. Bada bing. We are going to call it. We're going to do Linux Mint today and really super fast, if possible. I just installed it like a couple minutes ago to do a pre-test, and we're doing the Linux Mint because it's very lightweight, one of the lighter weight ones. It's fast and it's a very, very easy install. So, if you guys are new to VirtualBox, I'll just run through the basics. First thing you do is you start a new machine. And if you already have machines or you're familiar with VirtualBox, you have the choice to keep it in the main machine folder where your other machines are, or you can put it in a different place. I'll just put it there for now because I'm going to delete it immediately after because I already have one installed. So you just name it. I'm going to call this Minty Fresh. Now the nice part about the Linux is you don't have to enter this code text in the command prompt like you do if you're installing a Mac operating system. So if you have the RAM, then it's a good idea to set it at 4096. That's like a good standard setting that they've calculated, and it seems to work. And what we are going to do is we're going to create a hard disk. We're not going to use a pre-made virtual hard disk. We're going to create one. We're going to make a VDI, and that's if you're familiar with the different versions. Version VDI is virtual disk image. It takes no space. It's an image. It's virtual. The hard disk is actually the HD, and that as an actual physical disk that takes space on your physical drive, whichever storage device you want to use, and you can have it where it's fixed size or allocated dynamically, so it will grow as you add more stuff with it and only use the amount of space that you use. And then you have the VMDK, that's a virtual machine disk, which is a basic combination of the VDI and the VHD, and then the HDD parallels they're used on very more rare operating systems. I'm not that familiar with them. And then the QEMU are used and the QUME. Now, the VDIs were designed for VirtualBox only, technically in the history of VirtualBox and VMware. And VMware was made more for VMDKs. But there you'll find times where you'll have to use the different versions of these. You can alternate and switch between, but usually you want to use the VDI format because that is virtual space. And then you create. Wait, I forgot to give myself RAM. Whoa, space, I mean. Um, oh god, I hope I didn't get stuck in a loop. Cancel. Okay, so, good. Whoa. Okay, so Linux Minty Fresh, and it's a 64-bit Ubuntu system. And then, no! No! Okay. Well, thank you very much. that will start all over again. That just disappeared on me. Oh, maybe it's crashing. I have. Well, while it's crashing, just watch that. Okay, so it didn't crash. It just made the machine for us, and I just was rushing, so I'm gonna have to fix it real quick. And you just go into your settings, this orange bar up here. And the best part about this installation is that it's pretty much preset and it knows. Well, I don't have to worry about the storage, but you want to give yourself at least 50 gigs if you can. If you have that space, a minimum 30 is required to run it. So what I was saying is that these controllers, the IDEs and the SATA, it's configured very uniquely. And then the Pix 4, now you won't see that in Mac OS very often. So this is a unique setup. And the way it does that, it configures it automatically. Linux is infamous for, its um, versatility, and where Mac is a little bit more complex as far as it's not user friendly in setting up virtual machines. It's got to do a lot of configuration. Okay, so general, you just want to check that's all there, basic. And we're going to use a bidirectional clipboard so you can drag and drop. And then we'll set up a shared folder. And then you leave those alone. In your system, you're going to want to uncheck the boot order of the floppy disk. And then just leave those the same, the Pix3, and the USB tablet, and the unchecking of the Enable EFI Special OS. Okay, so you want to give your processor, if you can, I'm going to put it all the way up to the green light. Generally, you give the CPU at least 2, but if you have the ability, you can go up to the middle. I mean, people vary on what they think is good, but it was really up to you and what you feel your computer can handle. Acceleration stays the same. Display goes all the way up to 128. And this one, most often you won't have to change this too much. It's usually VBox, VBGA, but now it has turned to VMSVGA. And once again, that has to do with a different type of OS. Okay, and then we go to our storage. I did forget to mention you do need to download VirtualBox and the VirtualBox extension pack from Oracle. Now there will not be a link in this video because we are just streaming live and I'm trying to do it fast as possible because I got things I got to do and I just felt like streaming. So your network will automatically detect it based on your Wi-Fi or Ethernet. It usually sets up a virtual Ethernet and parallel adapter. You don't have to worry about the serial ports. The USB in this version is 2.0, not 3.0. But you can try 3.0. I can't guarantee you that it'll work. I don't know that 100%. The share folder, I'm just going to use the one that I already created. There's one on the desktop. You just click on that little green to add it, and you find it on where you kept it, or you can make one as we go. But I'm just going to use one that's already on the desktop. It's called if I can find it. Wow, my system is running really slow. It's like doing things on its own. You see that? I didn't even open up that. Okay, so where's my share folder? There it is, Linux share. Okay. So then you want to have it auto mount. You can access it, and then you click OK. And you can set that. You can do a couple of them however you want to. And last but not least, on this interface, it's pretty much default set up to be how it's supposed to be to work on the OS that you're using. Okay, so the final thing is we have to attach the ISO. That's the third thing you will need. I should put it in the description list, but I'm recording it and streaming, I think. I forget how I set it up, but if I can leave the link. But basically, it's very easy, you guys. This is the easiest VirtualBox you will ever do. I would suggest if you're a first-time comer to VirtualBox, you would start off with a Linux distro, and just pick one of your choice and go for it. It's very simple. So, last but not least, this disk is an empty disk where what you're going to choose is your ISO file, and you can download it from, a Linux website, Ubuntu, Arc64, TinyCore, Kali Linux. Then there's I'm not Debian, Fedora. Those are the majors. You just click on the little disk here, and then you click on the disk up here, and then it will prompt you to locate the file on your system. My machine is running really slow. I don't know why. It's really fast. See, so I'm choosing the Linux Mint one. I tried to install the Absolute 64, which is a super lightweight Linux, but it's very very hardcore in the sense that it has like every operating system that's ever made on it. Somehow they managed to bundle like almost every operating that I'm aware of. I did some little research on that particular um, one. Absolute 64 I recommend. Ubuntu 18 I recommend. 20 is not so stable. TinyCore I want to try that, and then Ubuntu. And I'm going to select the Linux Mint though for today. That seems to be the trend of the times and the easiest one to work. So it mounts it for you, attaches it to the IDE controller, and then you have a SATA controlling the hard disk attachment. Okay, and basically you're just ready to fire it up, and just go to the green. And this is like really honestly, for all the pain and hard work and toil that I've gone through with Mac OS, this is a piece of cake. So I'll always usually ask you initially which disk you want to choose, and I had Absolute 64, so I'm glad I looked at it and just didn't select it. So you want to always make sure you select the correct one. Use Mint. A. And we go boom. Put it there and go full screen. Now, I forget with Linux if the audio drivers are, if it does detect the audio. Start Linux Mint. Do we start it incompatibility? We just want to start it. Hardware detection, press that. Okay. Now, I've heard that this is an edition, a desktop edition that has a lot of user-friendly themes, I guess. This is why it's so popular, because it has an interface that is very desktop friendly. So that is the main reason why I wanted to try this one, because I've tried Ubuntu before. I've run it on VirtualBox, and it didn't really perform, but it was stable. It was the most stable OS I ever installed in VirtualBox, but I just didn't use it enough. I'm just learning Linux now. I've already got the Mac and the Windows down, and you know, I want to explore other different types of possibilities. And what I'm doing today is just introducing this because it's going to be a new website, new YouTube channel, and I'm going to backtrack my experiment project and how I got involved in VirtualBox and how I started back in February and where I've gone to where I am now in my training and research and how I've used it. And I'm going to be releasing a special um, VirtualBox uh, machine disk, but I'm not going to tell all of it to you. That's going to be a big surprise. So that's what I've been working on the past 8 months, along with learning Android Studio. I'm just now starting to try to find time to approach Xcode, which is like probably the biggest challenge for me because I'm not a code person. I'm a graphic designer. That's my background, and music, audio editing. So I have a Play Store app out. I released it just a couple months ago, and I'm also working on more at the moment. But that gets complicated, and that's a difficult, long process as well. Okay, so you can install it if you want a full install, or you can just use it. And it's very simple. Bam! There you go. This video is almost over. You got your home folder. Um, oh, my machine's running really slow. I'm sorry, guys. Give it a second to catch up. I'm just clicking on there. There we go. Okay, so look at all this stuff. Menu. It's really nice. I like the minimalistic design style. It comes pre-stock. All these apps, you guys. I mean, it has everything that you need. I mean, if you're gonna run different operating system or second PC is great, but it's a more heavyweight. It's a lot of heavyweight, and we're trying to save time and space. So it has a lot of apps, and you can install whatever you want. This was just a computer. I was just curious to see what's in the computer, what kind of features it has. So you got a browser within the computer. You got your home folder, documents, your standard gallery, file system, and then your network. So let's see. Let me just see how if it's connected and it goes online. So we'll go down here on a browser real quick and test it out. Let's see. I think they have Firefox pre-bundled with Mint. Now, what I still don't know is if it, because I hear that there's different desktops, so I'm not sure about that 100%. I'm gonna do a little more research on that. But there are people are running way more sophisticated versions of Linux. This is a very basic tutorial. This is nothing super fancy or hard. Wow, I'm getting lost in the apps. That's not often that happens. Where? I just saw it. Okay. Oh, I see. Like that. It has a hierarchy. I'm sure you can turn the, if you're not into the dark theme, I'm sure you can change your display to a different background, I think. Pretty sure. Oh, there we go. Nice. Nice, nice. It fires right up, you guys. It's very easy. So, how do you get a new page again? Where's the button for a new tab? Okay, oh, I'm not. I'll scroll all the way up. I'm like, wait a minute. I know we're missing something. Um, Last but not least, I will highly recommend if you guys are Firefox users, which I'm one of them, I'm not fond of Safari. I'm not big on Safari, and I do not like Chrome. I do not use Chrome. I refuse to use Chrome. But I highly recommend Firefox for Developers Nightly Edition. It's a beautiful app. It's tremendous, and I'm a big fan of Edge, Microsoft Edge browser. And last but not least, what's my third favorite is Vivaldi. So if anybody wants to try some browsers, those are excellent at the top of my list. Nightly, at Firefox, Microsoft Edge, and the new Edge is just I don't care what anybody says. It is outstanding. It really is. So that's basically it. You guys know how to navigate and find your way around. I just wanted to share that with you. And when you close out, you can just minimize the window, or am I stuck? My mouse is stuck. I think my mouse just froze. Well, until I can turn the stream off, I might be stuck. I was just going to say, check back if you would like to. I will. You can find me again. I will leave a link to my web YouTube site. Okay, so it's still running. So what we want to do is you don't want to just shut it down and have it save. What you want to do is power it down. So we don't want to save it. We just want to power it down. And it'll just go right off. Okay. So exit out of there. So you just need these three programs. You need Oracle VirtualBox. You just type in VirtualBox in Google and you will find it in less than 1 second. The icon looks like this. And then right after that, you're going to need this. And if I can, I will leave a link on my Google Drive and have it available. But you guys can easily get it yourselves if that's more complicated. But for those that might have that access, let me see here. Wait a second. Okay. You're going to need these three things, and that's all you're going to need. The Virtual Pack extension, make sure it's the most updated version, both of those. And last but not least, you can pick an ISO of choice. And what I'll do is I'll upload all of these ISOs to my Google Drive and leave a link to download. So I'll post a link to my YouTube channel. So I'm streaming to several networks at the moment, so I don't have the time to do it at this very second. That's it, guys. There you go. Linux Mint in a Minty box. Thank you for watching and have a beautiful day.